If you're writing your first book, stop and watch this video. I'm going to save you a ton of time before you publish. I learned all this stuff over the last 3 years. I'm still learning, but here's some things that will save you months and months, if not years. I've been doing this for 3 years. I've written 7 novels. The 7th one comes out in December. These are 7 things I wish I knew before I published my first book. The very first book that I wrote only sold 6 copies for the first 2 years. That being said, it's now my second most popular book after learning some of this stuff. Number 1, editing with AI. I know this is a controversial topic. Do not let it write your book. It does not write anything that you do. All it does is line edit. That's what it's good for. That's the ethical way to do it. I did an entire video on this already. Came out last week. Go watch that. It's step by step how to do it, how I do it. You can make your own thing, whatever. Essentially, all it's good for is saving you some money on a line editor. Again, sorry, editors. I would love to pay you. I just can't afford it. Me be a poor boy. Second thing, book covers. Man, I have so many cool ideas for book covers, especially because in one of my series I write in a genre where it's very much thrillers. That's what's coming out soon. The type of thriller it is, I could make some wicked covers. I have some concepts drawn up, but they just don't fit the genre. And so when people are looking for those covers, they don't do well. You can see behind me here, right there, that first and second one. Those are thrillers. Those are the first 2 in the series. They have new covers now. They won't be here till like Wednesday. Apparently, I ordered them like a month ago. Anyway, they gave the wrong impression. People thought they were horror books, which they do border on that, but they're not horror. So I had a lot of horror readers read them, and they did like them, but I only got like 3 or 4 star reviews instead of a 5-star review on something because they were like, hey, this isn't what I thought it was. And so, yeah, it does matter. It won't stand out, or will stand out, I guess, if it's not in the right genre, but people won't look at it as what they're wanting to read. So get the right cover. This next thing, email list. Start it as soon as possible. I have gotten so much use out of this, and I'll be very transparent. I only have 67 people on my list, and they are fantastic. I love them. They're just loyal people. And not everybody responds and whatnot, but every now and again I'll have a new one pop up that's been quiet, that's just following along. I was doing it weekly. I do it monthly now. But man, they're awesome. Like, I get beta readers out of it. I get ARC readers out of it. Your beta readers, since AI sucks at content editing, if you can't afford an editor, beta readers, man, let them read it. When you're getting ready to start fine-tuning, they will tell you what's wrong. Hey, this is missing. Hey, this chapter sucks. Hey, this chapter is too short. They will tell you all of that. Let them do it. Figure out I just send mine in a PDF format. I have all my stuff copyrighted, so if they steal it, not a good thing. But most of them, I've not run into anybody that wants to yet. They're just really cool people that want to support you. It's kind of awesome. ARC readers. You get ARC readers too. They read it during the pre-launch phase. You give it to them a month or so ahead of time. I've already got 4 out of that 67, and I'm hoping to get more. We'll see. But anyway, ARC readers, right? Advanced Reader Copy, that's ARC. They will literally read it, and then the day of launch, they will put out a review for you so that you're pumping that algorithm. We'll get to that in a bit. That's one of the other steps because I misunderstood that assignment entirely until last week. Anyway, use your email list. Finally, also, some of the people on there are just waiting, they joined because they simply want you or want to read your work. That they're just waiting for that email that says, hey, book came out, and then they go pre-order it or they buy it on the day of, whatever, man. They're awesome. They're your fans. They're your super fans. They're great. Start your email list. So this brings me to the next thing, which is what I kind of just mentioned, the Amazon algorithm. I knew it had one, obviously, right? I just thought it went off of sales, and then it was I'm going to push you up on rank. I learned something. If you write in multiple genres, like me, I write sci-fi, and primarily, lately, I've been writing thrillers. My thrillers sell better. My sci-fis do okay. The algorithm is trying to push my thrillers to sci-fi readers and my sci-fi to thriller readers, which means they don't get as many buys or clicks or whatever, and so then the algorithm pushes them down, just like social media does. So what I've done is I have removed all of my sci-fi from Amazon, and I put them solely on draft to digital. It's also free. It's actually pretty easy to use. I tried to use Ingram Spark. That is the most nightmarish thing I've ever used. The user interface is absolutely garbage. I do not recommend it. I hope it works well for people that use it, but I couldn't get it to do anything I wanted it to do. There was a problem every 5 seconds. It took 2 weeks for them to even allow me to use their site. Oh, I just don't Ingram Spark if you don't have to. Or maybe you're more tech savvy than me. I am not a tech savvy guy. Furthermore, on that algorithm, I learned a lesson, and this is why it all clicked in for me when I figured this out. I have a standalone book, which I don't have a copy of right now. It's called County. It's a police procedural. It's got some romance stuff in there. Anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. I'm doing an experiment with it, but that book sells itself. I've never once advertised that book other than the day I released it originally. I put it on my Facebook. That's it. One time, and it is sold. It's my 3rd best-selling book, and I don't advertise it. Never have. However, all of the keywords, all of the stuff, SEO, which we'll get to in a minute, all that stuff was kind of by accident lined up because I didn't know what I was doing then either. Again, I'm still learning, but I'm getting a lot closer. Yay! So that was my thing. That particular book sold me on the idea that the algorithm is pushing very specific things. And so you've got to make all your landing page, your author page, all that stuff line up. Now, I did some research on this. It's kind of unclear. If you have pen names that you write under, it does help. However, it's still on the same bookshelf. You're still the author, whatever. So I don't use a pen name, thus, at least outside of my main one. So, yeah. Anyway, just know that. Get all your stuff lined up, all your ducks in a row, so to speak. If you're going to write multiple genres, Draft to Digital is a very good place to go to put your other stuff. Do that. So now let's talk about Amazon. Or really any platform that you're going to publish on. You need metadata. Now, this is your 7 keywords. You do not have to use 1 word. You don't have to use 2 words. You can have morally gray character-driven novel or something like that. And that's 1 line, right? All of those fit into the metadata. So you can write longer words. Another thing you could do is something like psychological suspense thriller or dystopian alternative history science fiction. Those are some that I use. They all fit in there. So it does have a character limit, but all of those fit in the metadata. Now, on top of that, when you do your book description, you don't want to stuff it with the keywords, but you want to include some of them so that it all lines up when things get searched by people. And that's search engine optimization. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. That's what you need. You gotta line all that stuff up. So make sure your landing page is proper. Your book cover is proper, right? It's all old news. You know this stuff if you watch videos. And everything fits. If you do a subtitle, make sure the subtitle is also something in your metadata somewhere, whether it's the landing page or in your keywords. That's the biggest thing that happened with my standalone. It's called County, a small town crime fiction novel. I had small town crime fiction novel in the 7 keywords, and Amazon just showed it to people, and I never once advertised it. Furthermore, on the algorithm with the metadata, when you put those 2 things together, you can take advantage of something where Amazon will market for you. This is my experiment, by the way. I'm doing 2 things at the same time. But my book coming out in December, December 10th, it's the Fulton County Footsteps. It's the 3rd in my Campfire Murder series. I have it on pre-order. So that first 30 days up to the pre-order, Amazon will push it. It will show it to people as a pre-order. Once it releases for the next 30 days, it will also show it to people. It wants you to make money because then they make money. Makes sense, right? Capitalism. Use it to your advantage. So if it does well, it will get another 30 days. And that's 90 total days. Amazon will do it for you. If you write fast enough, my novels are between 50 and 65 to 70,000 words because they're thrillers mostly. My sci-fis are a little longer, but not much. They're kind of action. But I can pump out several books a year. If you could do 1 a quarter, maybe 1 every 3 years, you're almost always on Amazon's pushing your books for you. And because you have all your stuff aligned now, right? Like all your stuff is thriller in my case, it will say, hey, other people that bought this book liked this book. Here's the rest of the series. Which, by the way, in your metadata, if you're writing a series, make sure the series is put together, that it's all in, this is book 1, this is book 2, book 3, book 4, whatever. Hopefully all that makes sense. I know this is a lot. When you write your book, that's not the end. That's kind of the easy part if you're a writer. At least it is for me. I love to write. It's awesome. I love making the story. I like crafting it. I like when people read it and they're like, oh, dude, I didn't see that coming. I love that. It's my favorite thing. But then you have to market it. You have to tell people about it. That's the hard part, man. You got to talk to people. It's part of what I'm doing here. But we'll get to that. I ran ads first because, you could write the best book in the world, but if nobody knows about it, no one's going to read it. I ran ads. I sold a lot of books. However, ads are very expensive. They will suck your wallet dry. I, at best, broke even, and I was really good at making ads. However, I didn't have my metadata in check yet, so I don't have full data on that, so to speak, if I had better metadata. I refuse to spend money on it anymore. I can sell 150 to 300 books a month with ads, but it's going to cost me just as much as I made. So why would I bother? I don't want to do that. So I'm making quite a bit less now, but it's all profit. And that's what the next thing is. Organic marketing, right? It's part of what I'm doing here, social media. However, I really just want to help folks, especially us indie authors. It's really hard to get out there, get your name seen, all that stuff. I've been doing this about 2 months now. In fact, a little less than 2 months. In 4 days, it'll be 2 months. But the reason I bring that up, my numbers haven't gone up a lot. They've gone up some. And in that 2 months, not only have I grown some kind of following, so there's a difference there, being seen and converting sales, but people are starting to know who I am. On TikTok in particular, I've got one viral post that's happened, whatever, but it's not a huge viral post, 10,000, right? Views. I've gotten to know a lot of people, though, because of that. I've been on a podcast now in the United Kingdom, which was super cool. It's called the First Authors Live podcast, something like that on TikTok. Here on YouTube, I've met some people as well. I've got to talking to folks, helping people with some advice, things like that. But yeah, so with that, pick 2. I like YouTube because I just like the format. I watch YouTube. I enjoy it. It just kind of helps. With TikTok, it was kind of an experiment. It took off. I also did Instagram for a while. I kind of quit doing that one. But yeah, pick 2. Do them really well. You have to be pretty consistent. As you noticed, I do 1 a week on YouTube. I do 3 to 7 a week on TikTok. Usually they're just short little motivational things, whatever, and then I'll throw in a book, ad of some kind. Here's the trick, though, with your short stuff. Make it emotional. Make it an emotional scene from your book, or talk about what the themes are. My most popular ad on there really has to talk about the thriller one, where it's murder doesn't always result in death, something like that. I did it in a grungy voice like that with some ambient music, that kind of goes with the tone. So that's the thing, right? So let's recap. If you do your editing with AI, it's way faster. Only line edit. Do not let it write for you. It's garbage. It has no soul. It doesn't know how to do it. It's a tool. Use it. There's no difference in using ChatGPT versus I don't even know what the other ones are. That's what I use. Claude, I think, is a common one. If you're using Grammarly, also AI, by the way. X has Grok, whatever. They're all the same thing, man. Some of them are trained differently. Claude might be better for literary. I don't know. But don't let it write for you. It's not good. The next thing, your book cover, make sure it aligns with your genre. If it aligns with your genre, then you're pretty good. And then you can start kind of looking who's selling the best, whatever. But just look at the top seller list in your genre. Amazon has a whole thing. You can click through. You just go down. You're good. Then your email list. Start building it today. It works great. I put mine at the bottom. It's I put it in the comments on every one of mine. It's the very first thing, unless I have a pre-order going. But it's literally the very first thing on the in the description of my YouTube videos. It's got a link. You go right to it. Boom, done. Cool. Bob's your uncle. Amazon's algorithm with the metadata, the SEO, proper keywords in your 7 keywords, right? Expand them, make them longer so you get more in there. That way it'll show up in more searches. Get that lined up. And then organic market. If you don't want to have a face on social media, don't. Just run literal, soft sell ads. Just say, hey, this book has this, or and make some scenes. You can get still stuff off of Pexels, Pexels, right? Still photos. They're free. You go get those, and then you make text over your thing. Takes you 5 minutes. You got a post. You're done. Cool, right? That's it. That's all there is. Speaking of email list, again, mine's in the bottom. Feel free to sign up if you want more of the stuff. I don't do motivational stuff on there generally, or tips. I talk about my books. If you're curious how things are going, whatever. I published 5 this year, or will have in December. I didn't write all 5 this year, although I did write 4 of them this year. Anyway, I write fast. Follow, like, subscribe, whatever, if you want more of this stuff. I do this every week, and yeah, toodles.